Right now, I'm keeping an eye on the election, trying to see who's winning and who's not. Biden just picked up Illinois, and he picked up one other state so far. So there's a couple. And he picked up Colorado too. But still needs a lot more states to win, and if he wants the electoral vote. But that's not the main point. But I'm still trying to keep an eye out just in case. This is an opinion piece from Washington Post for my video, and it says 45 ends where he began, with one final effort to try to corrupt this election. When historians weigh in on 45's tenure, they may unlock one of the strangest mysteries. Why did he decide early on that he stood little chance of a second term if the 2020 election were free, fair, and reality based? If voters were permitted to evaluate his and his opponent's records in an environment of shared facts and to render their unfettered judgment on them? Why did 45 think he needed to embark on an extraordinary concerted effort to corrupt the election to even have a chance of winning? In a fitting finale, 45 closed out the campaign by railing at the Supreme Court on Tuesday for allowing the counting of mail ballots to arrive for 3 days after Election Day in Pennsylvania. We should know what happens on the night, 45 said, meaning the election should be decided on election night. He added, a lot of bad things happen with ballots when you say, oh, let's devote days and days, and all of a sudden the ballot count changes. Um, um, yes, 45, when you count the vote count does indeed change, but 45 believes ballots are still uncounted after Election Day, including ones that both arrived before and after that day shouldn't be counted. He's counting on the court to make this a reality. Indeed, 45 also raged on Monday night that the Pennsylvania decision was dangerous and could induce violence in the streets, seemingly priming his supporters for a post-election struggle. Our democracy in peril. Um, is in peril. Basically, a series on the damage 45 has caused and the danger he would pose if he was elected to a second term. 45, of course, could still win the election, which we hope doesn't happen, but 45 himself seems to have decided long ago that this couldn't happen without a massive wall to wall effort to try to corrupt it. After all, it was over a year and a half ago that 45 decided both that he'd probably face Biden and that he'd need extreme tactics to give himself an unfair advantage. In March of 2019, we first learned that his lawyer, dumbass Giuliani, was heading to Ukraine to gin up announcements of investigations into Biden. What followed was an extraordinary, brazen, concerted, and multifaceted effort to press as much of the U.S. government as possible into service toward his re-election effort. This included multiple cabinet officials placing their official duties at its disposal, and even a wholesale effort to use government resources to manufacture an alternate reality within which the campaign would unfold. It's nothing like anything else in the U.S. politics in recent memory, and here's a rundown of it. 45 and dumbass Giuliani executed a scheme to use withheld appropriations to strong-arm Ukraine into announcing a fake investigation into Biden for supposed corruption. In the process, officials from 45's own government debunked these efforts, and 45 ultimately got impeached for it. 45's GOP Senate allies, particularly Ron Johnson, who's a repug from Wisconsin, perverted the investigative process to lend the appearance of legitimacy to many of those same changes. In the end, Johnson may have become a conduit for Russian disinformation, and the probe's final report was a total bust. 45 expected Attorney General Fat Fuck Barr's review of the Russia investigation to produce blockbuster revelations proving the Obama administration's criminal spying on his campaign, thus tarring Biden and making Russia's 2016 electoral sabotage disappear. But Fat Fuck Barr eventually admitted that no report would be forthcoming in time, angering Fat Ass 45. Fat Fuck Barr also ordered an investigation into unmasking during the Obama administration, and nothing came out of it. 45 attacked voting by mail as riddled with fraud for months, which there's no proof of that. While openly telegraphing as early as July that he'd seek to get millions of late-counted votes invalidated as he's now doing, his attorney general used his official perch to lend fake legitimacy to voting fraud disinformation. And this backfired, basically. It surely helped trigger an unprecedented explosion of early mail-in voting and a relentless effort on streamlining mail ballot counts in states, rendering that scheme less likely to work. 45 openly declared that he expected the Supreme Court to help him invalidate untold the untold mail ballots. That is unlikely to succeed, but saying this aloud also pushed voters to get into ballots early while alerting state officials to take defensive steps that also rendered this less likely to work. Using the intelligence servers, Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe's office admitted that Russia was trying to help 45 win this election as well, but his statement tried to equate Russia's active measures with China's more passive hopes that 45 would lose to obscure the seriousness of Russia's effort. Intelligence officials also took steps to limit what they would tell Congress about ongoing Russian efforts, but 45 had privately raged when officials took steps to inform Congress about Russia's intentions. Deploying the government resources also to boost his re-election, 45 hatched a plan to send $200 of a drug discount cards bearing his name to every senior in Medicare. Basically, he was trying to get them to vote for him. It didn't work out too well. But drug companies balked at that participated in such a blatantly partisan effort, ultimately helping scuttle the scheme. Meanwhile, Repug operatives ensconced the Department of Health and Human Services, and they decided to spend $250 million on a PR campaign to defeat despair. And related to the pandemic, echoing 45's re-election themes, many celebrities that they wanted to recruit were not interested in this fraudulent behavior. A whistleblower at the Department of Homeland Security disclosed that senior officials ordered the twisting of intelligence to hype a domestic Democratic terror threat, bolstering 45's campaign propaganda. Numerous top national security and law enforcement officials also used their official positions to inflate this threat. 45 repeatedly tried to rush the process for vetting a coronavirus vaccine in hopes of some sort of announcement to boost his re-election. This also backfired. It compelled many stakeholders, such as administration scientists and in the biotech industry, to demand an uncorrupted process, scuttling 45's timing while highlighting his own corruption. If Biden can muster a large enough popular vote to win to prevail, there will be a strong temptation to forget about all of this, but we must not. That such a massive mobilization is required to overcome all the serial cheating must never be accepted as normal. And if Fat Ass 45 wins, of course, the meaning of this will all be truly terrible to contemplate. But if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, Ryan Ben Mike, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And thanks for listening.